thought I'd take you on a walk. I'm just rucking. I got 50 pounds on my back, walking through the forest. And I wanted to share some thoughts. One is that it seems to me, at least in my experience, having a business on social media, is that it's easy to think, I have to do this. I have to post every day. They have to look like this. It has to be like this. And what happens is we're starting to lose our power over the creativity and our own art. I gotta use trending audios. You don't gotta do anything. Now, this doesn't mean I'm saying abandon all strategy, but also don't abandon all authenticity for strategy, because what you end up losing is a connection to yourself and a connection to the reason people want to have a conversation with you. Now, the other side of this is that, look, I've had this channel for over 10 years. And what I find fascinating is over that time, I've had 4 or 5 people manage my social media, including me. And every single one has gotten to a place of deep psychological strain. So that leads me to think like, okay, what is it about these platforms that actually creates anxiety, that actually creates mental health challenges? I mean, obviously the sort of, I need to look a certain way, it needs to be curated, it just feeds into, and I need to get likes. I mean, these are all designed by social scientists to capture you. You are against an army of people that know your unconscious behaviors better than you do. They study you. They study everything you watch. That's why you're like, I'm going to follow all these good accounts and I'm going to follow this. But what they actually see is what you pay attention to. So their whole purpose is to completely colonize every second of your life, right? To actually take every moment, because every moment is monetizable, to show you another advertisement. Now, with all that said, how do we still hold a relationship with devices, with social media, that maintains our own personal power? I'm exploring that myself. But the first part I'll say is, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to post every day. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I was like, fuck all these rules. This is basically exactly like an abusive relationship. You'll never know what the algorithm is, so you'll never know how to fully be successful. They will love bomb you and give you organic reach at the beginning and then take it away, so they'll start charging you to reach the audience that said yes to your content being presented to them. So they change the rules of the relationship that you have with your audience after you've already built an audience. There's a saying that you're building a mansion in someone else's backyard. And that's exactly what happens, is now they're in control of the business. I've got over 1.1 million followers. If I do a post like this, or just a regular in-feed post, I might get 50,000, 100,000. If I have a funny reel, something with not a lot of substance, that might get to 1 million, 2 million. So they're really deciding what reaches people, which is really fascinating because, a year ago, 2 years ago, I'd post a good thing of writing, a good meme, 400,000 or 500,000, high engagement. So I find it interesting that there's a power dynamic that exists when someone controls the flow of money. And on social media, accounts like Instagram, or Meta accounts really, and TikTok, if you're not converting someone from your in-feed to a product, you're not making money. So they're in charge of how you monetize yourself. So you just got to put more and more and more on here, and it'll never be fucking enough. And you'll always be on eggshells. You're not allowed to say certain words. You're not allowed to say certain things. I mean, the parallels to abusive relationships are crazy. I'm curious what your experience is. If you made it this long, I want to know. What's your experience with social media? How does it affect your mental health? And what's a strategy that you have or that you're discovering that maintains power in relationship to social media?